They're gonna call business times.
Oh, no, I was gonna not make you.
Oh, I was gonna pass it, then I was
Oh,
gonna
okay, I
pass
thought it
it.
was
Sorry.
one.
Yeah, anyway, here,
Yeah, should-
Tracy.
All right, we are going to everything I see. Slide.
It looks like it's live. But yet lagging.
Whoa. Just in case we say
Why do
something.
you see, why do you hear somebody else? Because it's not,
So do I need to?
that is a few minutes, that's like
That's like 2 minutes ago.
a while ago. I'm not wearing my glasses, see,
So do I guess we have a lot?
Right,
This is now.
right.
It looks like there's multiple.
Getting stuff around.
It started to, and then all of a sudden it didn't.
All right, so what do you need?
I don't know, what did I miss there?
All right, go ahead and roll it and it'll catch up.
Okay. All right, this is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Parks Recreation and Harbor Advisory Committee meeting. Committee, March 14th, 2024. First order of business, we'll do introductions and I will go to my right. I'm Ryan Robbins, I'm committee member and chair.
Tracy Willett, Director.
Debbie Chandra, Assistant Director.
Michaela Pelkey, committee member.
John Hyatt, board member.
Leah McBriarty, member.
Okay, first item is approval of the January meeting minutes.
And I need to send those around, or unless I can send copies around if folks don't have them, or actually, I don't think you have them, because I just did it, we just did this afternoon, so.
You have a motion to accept? You have a motion to accept?
Second, yeah, second.
Without objection, approved. First item on the agenda for this month is an update on the Cascade Park Master Plan.
So, hopefully, some of you printed it, I have copies here. Hopefully, you all at least had a chance to thumb through it a little bit. As we've talked about, we are also in the process of working through a master plan for Cascade Park. Certainly one of our signature parks here in the city, destination park, and kind of a gateway to the city. You come in on State Street. It made sense to move forward, and we're funded for it and contracted with Regina Leonard, who also did our master plan, facility master plan. Within that plan, it's mentioned this plan is a near a short-term goal. So here we are. This is the first draft. We've had a chance to kind of go through it and make some changes. I felt it was important that you all do the same and have a chance to look at it. We're obviously still in draft format. If you had a chance to go through, you'll see that Regina uses the same team. We have Haley Ward, part of this team, as well as herself. She kind of frames it and lays it out in a similar way as a master plan, and has come up with some really interesting and neat concepts about going forward in the plan, and lays out a timeline for that. And as I mentioned, she has shared it with us to a point. We can certainly bring her back next month if you want to. In the meantime, if you have suggestions or edits or questions that we may not be able to answer tonight, so we can follow up with her. So I guess that's kind of a good jumping off point to, and certainly you, Johnny, new to it all, so, but regardless of that, it's certainly a good place for you to start in with what we're trying to accomplish is laying out a plan. And to give you some context, you know, master plan a couple of years ago, where it's an active plan for us, we're actively using it. We build our capital improvement plan with a lot of the suggestions and recommendations from the master plan. And again, this was one of them. And given the popularity and the history of Cascade Park, it made sense to follow through with it. So I will stop talking and listen to thoughts, comments, suggestions, questions, all of the above.
I got a question. The placement of the outbuilding, is that more for blending in? My concern is, accessibility. If we're gonna have the gazebo closer to the parking lot, there might be some people who might have difficulty getting to a restroom on the other.
It's honestly, after meeting with her and designing it all together as a group, the gazebo worked really well where she's doing it, just because of photographs and access to it. But like right now, the porta potties are even further than where these will be. And there's gonna be handicap accessible trail right to it, direct access. And, you know, when you're in the park, on here, it looks like it's pretty far, but it's really not.
Okay.
Yeah. And also in there's gonna be, you know, all the tools and all the mechanical stuff for the pool itself. So, it needs to be on that side.
Okay, that was my question.
Yeah.
It's in the same general area, not exactly where the front porta pots are, the same general area. So for access, both the crew and as Deb mentioned, the accessibility for those users in the park. And the intent, if you drew that from it, will be to take everything that's essentially in the ground now, in a confined space underground, bring it above ground and put it inside this building as well.
Any other questions or thoughts for Tracy?
Wow,
Yeah,
she must have hit it then.
yeah.
I like that she's replacing the invasive plants. I think.
Yeah,
that's
yeah, no, that was,
The barberry and the.
yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Interestingly enough, it reminded me, when I worked at the Bangor Daily, I actually covered one of their, if you remember back when WLBZ,
Cascade Park days, yeah.
yeah, they had a rubber duck race. This
Yeah.
was back in 1998.
Yep.
It was, I think it was $2 a duck, and they had like 150,
Yeah,
something like, yeah, 150.
no, we're not bringing back the rubber duck.
Yeah, I was just thinking as you're talking, oh.
How far out, you know, because there was a recommendation in the master plan proposal of like sponsorships or something. Is that something that you guys are gonna wait a little bit and trying to put feelers out, or?
So, yes, I mean, certainly in amongst all the other things that we're trying to update and review is the sponsorship program. And certainly Cascade had a very active sponsor with the former Shop and Save supermarkets at that point that you're referencing, and then Hannaford stayed on for quite a while. So yeah, that's certainly a possibility. We'll include some of the initial recommendations after we've actually taken some of the recommendations in the draft to start to include in the capital plan. So the first phase will be the engineering and the site analysis, get that started. But it's kind of a long-winded way of answering your question. Yes, sponsorships is certainly a possibility for sure. If done tactfully and not to be obtrusive to the park itself. I mean, we want to make sure we're cognizant of that. What was also nice that Regina did is took our feedback to try and maintain the historical characteristics of the park, i.e. the grotto, the fountain pool and the fountain itself, and the fountain, some of it's the original plumbing from when the park was constructed back in the 30s.
And we're probably getting a little ahead of ourselves there with donations. How feasible would it be once, I know we're still talking about what, 4 years from now, 4 years from now, some kind of donation box that would be locked that people could put a buck in, or would that be too logistically, difficult to?
So those in this day and age can be a bit to manage,
Mhm.
but there's certainly not, we actually started doing it with the skate park. On the website to create a donation spot on the website. Certainly once.
Or QR code
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, no,
Sign.
absolutely, absolutely. So there's always options like that. I think once this plan gets adopted, Cascade is such an important
Mhm.
part for folks here in the city that the enthusiasm to rehab and rebuild the park will be out there for sure.
I see this with all the new little picnic table spaces and covered areas, just be as popular as it is now. It'll just be so much more. Looking at if you guys see, last time we met with Regina, if you look at the master plan concept, if you look at the top left, that area is so underutilized right now. And, the topography is pretty good. That's why there's those picnic tables up top. It's, it's uphill, but then there's some really good flat areas. And so to utilize that as she's bringing forward to us it's a great concept.
Will there be any, I don't know, if cross marketing is the right word, but those trails do extend into Saxel Park, so will there be if you wanted to continue on?
Up
from
here.
Some wayfinding type stuff. Yeah, we did talk about
Yeah.
when we met on site with Regina the first time, we specifically took her, one of the places we went was with her team was over there.
Mhm.
It's a nice walk.
It is a nice walk and perhaps as an opportunity to resolve the ravine between the two spaces to invite
Mhm.
walkers and users both areas.
Doesn't that then extend onto the multi-use trail up to Eastern Main?
Mhm.
You could actually start at Cascade Park, go through Saxel as you described,
Mhm.
cross Mount Hope through East Main Community College campus to Sylvan Road. Use the walking path that you just described down to Stillwater, cross Stillwater into, over to Garden Way and into Essex Woods.
Yeah, I think that's been really nice.
Mm.
Is there anything that can be
Fun fact, huh? Fun fact.
Is there anything that could be done? It might not even be some that would be a part of this, but to partner with the city on, in terms of, like right now. And hopefully over the next 4 years, this is kind of enhanced, but I know like when I go for walks with my kids and our family, see needles and things like that there, is there anything that can be incorporated, whether it be a partnership with the city or anything like that, to help with combating, some of the homelessness in that specific park, in that specific
Cascade?
area? Yeah.
So as a city department, certainly we can use the city department resources if we need to add receptacles there for needle waste,
Mhm.
sharp waste. We have those around the city as it is, different parks. And with the implementation of our park ranger program last summer, Cascade is one of his regular stops. So coming up this coming season, certainly we'll have a more active presence at all of our parks, including Cascade every day. So, but the needle box for sure, yeah, we can add one over there.
If it's a need.
If it is the.
If it's a need
Mhm.
over there right now, most of our other parks, there's needs, but we
Right.
haven't seen Cascade to be a
That's why
huge
we-
need
That's good, yeah.
right now.
Yeah, no,
So let's hopefully try to
Yeah.
keep it that way.
yeah, like I said, if there's a need, we can add them when we need them.
Yeah.
Any other comments?
Any other comments on the design of what thoughts are to move forward? Guess this is gonna be a process, but I wanted you guys to get your input and see what's.
It might be in here, but remind me what the next step is, when would adoption possibly happen? Of this.
The next step, we have a member who's trying to log on to Teams and there's no Teams meeting. The next step would be council to adopt this And once that's adopted, then we can actively use and refer to it, use it as a source, like we have there with the master plan. It then gives us a resource to go to implement some of the maintenance goals in the
Yeah.
meantime. And again, use it just like we do the master plan. So, yeah.
So when are we planning to propose that it be adopted?
So the next step will be to get it in front of them in a workshop. And at least have them have the same discussion that you have had here tonight.
Oh, thank you.
And then get on the agenda once everything is edited and done. If not, April, maybe the 1st of May, but I'd like to have it done sometime in April. I'm going to quickly email Mr. Warner and let him know he can watch on YouTube.
Right now, we're going over Cascade Park
Okay.
plan and just seeing your thoughts and any ideas and stuff on how Regina put this forward. There's still, Tracy and I still need to meet with her and go finalize this a little more. There's still a few more things in here that we're looking at to change. Not big concept designs or anything, it's just wording since. And so after that, like Tracy said, we'll bring it to council. Looking at these different, while he's on his phone, looking at the different concept designs on here, do you guys see how the difference of the grandstand or the bandstand, I should say, it's just about triple of what it was now. I think it's a good concept. I think it's a great concept. It's not too big, but then can definitely host more people for weddings right now. The one we have can host just the bride and groom and nothing else and nobody else. But something new like this can host a wedding party or
But not,
family.
probably not the Bangor band, though. Cause anybody can ask them,
The band is approached us with a little different concept.
like a shell, probably.
Yeah, well, different, yes, different shell. The band is now about 75-ish members. So I don't even know if that would be feasible for them to be there.
Mhm.
There was a time that they would fit, for sure, but not now in their current configuration. They focus primarily on the waterfront.
Yeah.
What do you think? It's quite a packet.
One of
Nice.
many
Mm.
that we have going.
Yeah, sorry, I missed the last couple. It seemed like Thursday, I work out of town and I was cutting it close and I may or may not have gone to City Hall, so.
How's it going in there?
Looks like there's a lot going on.
Well, certainly subsequent from tonight, if y'all have something that, as you get into it a little deeper and that, wait a minute, I should have mentioned this, feel free to send us an email. We can pass that along. Regina, as Deb mentioned, we're gonna be coming back to her with some of our questions as well. So wanted y'all to have a look at it and have a chance to kick it around a little bit and talk about it tonight. We appreciate the feedback, so.
And we're probably just meeting with Regina in like 2 weeks from now, so if you can look it over, if you have any questions, email us. And then we can definitely bring it up to her and go from there.
Guess that's it. Thank you.
Next item. Investigate Green Canoe Race Recreation Program update.
All right, that will be the meeting. The race is on. The race is on. We have a lot of stuff. Last time I went over programs must have been like 3 months ago, so we have a lot going on. I don't really want to go into every single thing that we have going on. But just programs as of right now, wrestling went really well this winter. And the wrestling group wanted, and the families of them wanted to do more. So we had some space and we had some time, so we're offering up another wrestling program right now. It began last week. It is going very well and it's 2 nights a week at Parks and Rec. couple adult programs we have. We have a new Yoga for You session that's happening. It is on Tuesday nights from 5 to 6 o'clock. We do have drop-in fees, which is nice because not everybody can make a night. And so we, instead of just having registrations, we also do drop-in fees for yoga, and we have line dancing, which is extremely popular. And that is on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings at Parks and Recreation for adult programs. And we are starting in adult open gym basketball. That starts next Friday, which is like March 22nd, I think. Is that what it is? So it's on Friday nights from 6 to 8:30, adult, $5 for adults to come in and to drop in. So it's, you know, pick up and play some games, but it's not a league itself. Another adult program we have, which was brought on new this year, about 8 months ago. This one is basket weaving. I know I've talked to you guys about that before during the holiday time. It was very popular, so we're doing another one. And it's an 8-hour class on a Saturday all day, and they get all the materials and you make your own basket. This one's more, it's not a holiday basket. This is more of the type of baskets that you go apple picking. And so it's yours to keep. It's an all-day program. It's absolutely wonderful. Eastern Maine Lacrosse is going on right now. There's a free clinic at Fields for Kids that's being utilized. We have over 80 kids signed up for that. Our K-2 instructional, well, K through 7, we have right now about 175 kids registered and still going.
For what program?
Lacrosse,
The K through 2?
K through 7.
Oh,
I
okay.
said 2 and then I
Wow.
said 7 after.
Awesome.
Yeah. Upcoming programs we have put out there, some are online already and some are in the final works. We have T-ball coming up, summer programming like adult tennis, tennis in the parks for kids. Tennis in the parks for kids, for anybody out there, we are actually looking for a tennis coordinator to run that. All of our programs out there, some programs we have volunteer coaches, sometimes we hire people to do our programs. This tennis one is a hired position and we're looking for someone to coordinate that. We are going to be advertising for that. So summertime is coming and we have job openings. We have a lot of them, the pools and summer camp counselors and our maintenance positions. I wanted to bring that forward to you guys before I went into the Canoe Race stuff. We are utilizing job fairs. We've already been to Husson to a job fair. Last night was Bangor High School. If you guys have any high schoolers at Bangor High, or if you're going to, your kids will be going to that. It was great. We recruited, it's not 100%, but probably 5 or 6 different staff people from last night's job fair. From maintenance to pools to summer camp counselors. So our goal is if we can get 2 or 3 per job fair, it's a win. It's definitely a great thing to do. Brewer job fair is on May 3rd. We will be participating in that as well. And if any of you guys know of any other places that we can put up posters for positions we're hiring, we've put big posters at Eastern Maine Community College. We have someone going to UMaine to put up posters, but if you guys have any places of work or business that you know that we can put up some posters, well, let us know and we will do that. They also have.
Does UMaine still do, they did, I know they did a few years ago, a job fair.
They have in the past.
Not anymore though?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
haven't gone for like 4 years since COVID to UMaine. Here's just one, if you guys can pass it down, just so you can see if there's something that you can use. I can email it to you guys, you can post it. There's 2-sided. It also has, and that one's for lifeguards. Only for that one. One thing also about our summer camps, we have opened up registrations. We have our Munchkin Camp, which is at Bangor Parks and Rec. We have our mini camp, which is first graders, and Munchkin is kindergartners. Mini is first graders. Monster is 2nd and 3rd graders. Mega is 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. 6 has an option of 2 camps, and then we have our teen camp, which is 6th through 8th graders. So we have tons of camps going on. They are all open for registration right now. We are still trying to find locations for 3 of our camps. We use schools, every year, and, there's a little bit of construction going on in some of the schools, so we're still working, the kinks with them to try to finalize our locations for our summer camps. Any questions on those right now before I go into the canoe race, which is coming up? Adult softball. I forgot about that one. Registrations are open for adult softball. That is team and people. So we right now have over 25 teams already registered for adult softball. That's co-ed league, church league, and men's league. And we're taking registrations as it is. If anybody wants to get involved and put in a team, visit our website, Bangor Parks and Rec. Canoe race, let me pass you guys some stuff. This is our stickers this year. You know, I know you guys have not run the race, but you know what? You can tell people that you guys are special. You get one, even if you haven't done the race.
Makes you say you weren't special before you got the stickers. So that's how I would take that.
I must be extra special with all these extra ones.
Oh, there you go. Here's some flyers too, if you want to pass it around. So this year's race is our 57th annual. Oh, here, go ahead.
I know, couldn't get it.
I wasn't special enough for those ones.
So it's the 57th annual, which is absolutely insane. 16.5 mile race. It is happening on April 20th. That's always the third Saturday in April. This year, it's a week later than last year. It was still the third week last year too. So it's April 20th. We are already getting phone calls on people thinking that the water level is going to be not very high. It changes every year. It's always something that we worry about, but you can't worry about it because it's high, it's low, it's perfect. If it's low one day and then it rains really hard another, it's high. As you noticed last Friday, it was raging just because of the weather. So you never know what it's going to be. There's not going to be a lot of snow runoff. That is the one thing this year, but it doesn't matter if we get rain the week before, we are good. One thing that we've added last year, we did pickups, which is their packets the week before. It worked out absolutely amazing. We are going to continue doing that. It's the best thing that we've done, you know, in my 15 years actually of doing this race. We have just over 100 people registered as of right now. It is early bird registration. Channel WABI Channel 5 is covering the race this year live. They are actually doing a promo right now for early registrations. It's $50 per person. Starting on April 2nd, it goes to $65. And then the week starting of April 12th, it is late registration because we do import everybody's name into the computer system and it just changes our whole style after that time. It is a much more difficult process to do. So it is late at that point. We can still do it, but it is late. Just so you guys know, there's some of you that are new. I don't know, John, right?
Yeah.
If you've ever done the race before, have you?
No, I have not.
Okay. Just to give you an example of what it entails for this type of race. Race day, we have probably over 40 search and rescue team members that are there throughout the race. From some of the groups that we have are Lincoln Search and Rescue, Pine State Radio, North Search and Rescue, Kenduskeag Fire, Highlands Search and Rescue, the WET team, which is Cape Elizabeth WET team. So they come from there. They joined us last year for the first time and they loved it. So they're going to join us again this year. New England Adventures, Three Rivers Whitewater Rafting, and our Public Works Department, our own city Public Works Department, our police department, our fire department, and of course us, Parks and Recreation. It just takes a huge team to put off a race like this. So just to let you know, that is just, you know, we don't throw people in there like you saw last week. And it takes a lot to run this. Kenduskeag Union Church donates the bottom of their church that morning for us to do registrations that day. And this year, they have, somebody donated a canoe to the Kenduskeag Union Church, so they are doing a raffle this year to benefit and to fix some of their things in their church. So that's something that's really great happening. We do have some sponsors in the race. As you see in here, we have Darling's Agency, who sponsors the warming tent at the end. Last year was probably the first year that it was not utilized because it was 80 degrees on April 15th last year. That's a very rare occasion. So I have a feeling that the warming tent will be utilized this year. Sea Dog Brewing Company donates their space behind their building, and they do free chili and chowder for all the racers. And something new this year is that Sand Dollar Spa and Pool is donating a warming hot tub, not for the racers over there. If they're really cold, they can get in their bathing suits and go in a hot tub at the finish line also. So there's a couple new things that we've added on to the race this year. So any questions? What do you guys think? You gonna
lot.
sign up? You gonna do it?
I'm gonna go and, maybe not sign up though. We'll see. It's a lot that goes into it, for sure.
There is, there is.
Brochure looks great.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Same as last year. Looked really good.
thank you.
Although I will black cloud this thing just for 1 second.
Okay.
Snacks available by
Oh, yeah.
donation.
Oh, that's me.
Could be confusing.
That is.
BY.
Yeah, thank you.
BY.
Another one actually is,
I knew it.
Oh, my God.
is it 826 Levant Road in Kenduskeag?
It is.
Okay.
I did double check that twice, and someone else caught that too, and we double checked it again. But no one caught this by.
I believe the story is it's Kenduskeag Road in Levant, then changes to Levant Road in Kenduskeag.
It's like literally.
There
you
is your
look it up.
challenge,
You
Mr.
look it up
Chair.
and that's what it is. Yeah,
But the Kenduskeag Avenue doesn't continue on to the Kenduskeag Road.
I don't know, but I was questioning that because it didn't look right, but it is.
Back here at Google and challenge that.
Yeah, so help us advertise that. It's a great race.
The people that pre-register get an opportunity to withdraw if the water level is just too low. To go.
Anybody can withdraw
Okay. Just
at
curious.
anything, yeah. We've already
Reserve.
processed things, you know, and stuff. We do a cancellation fee if it's more than 2 weeks earlier. You know, if it's before 2 weeks, we do just a cancellation fee, but after 2 weeks. If it's before the 2 weeks, then there's no
Yeah.
refund.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, it could be a rocky slog.
Could be some extra portage.
It could be, unless there's a lot of rain, then it'll be great, yeah. Anything else? With the race itself? We have people signed up from everywhere, Nova Scotia, California, Texas. Everywhere. And of course, Bangor.
That's crazy.
Any
What
other
else?
comments? Are we actually done?
Can be, so next month, go ahead and you all decide, we talked here last spring about harbor fees, correct? Right. One thing that we might like to bring to you is we have a policy with the food trucks. This is where I'm going with this. Food trucks, we have 5 signed up for the waterfront this year, which is the first time in probably 3 years. We've got 5, and we have a waiting list again. So we've kept it pretty much wide open. as far as menus and that sort of thing, and we really don't have any sort of, we don't set it, we don't try to manage that, over manage that down there. Maybe just go over that again with you next month as well. Just FYI, the docks will start to go in the week prior to the canoe race, for the upcoming season. American Cruise Line this will be instead of a port of call, will actually be a starting point for an ending point for cruises. They have you go on their website and find it. It is a upper Main Coast cruise. It starts and leaves here. Just a couple things that we might like to review with you next month.
Community garden, we have a community garden that is just full of beds.
160, I think
I
she
think
told me.
there's
Wow.
more now.
Could be more now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Just started off how many years ago with like 9 beds
Mm.
and now it's just full of beds.
I used to say a couple of years ago, now I've gone to a few years ago.
Yeah,
Wow.
I had a question. I noticed that well, this was like a month ago. Heavy equipment at the landfill at City Forest. What was that?
Oh, we have a hole. We have a hole.
Okay.
For those of you that may not know that where Ryan is talking about on the Kittredge Road and the field is actually the former city landfill that was capped. We have to maintain it and make sure it doesn't, and then we end up in the sinkhole, so they're fixing that.
Was that facing the marshy area?
Yes.
Yeah, because that had been developing for a few years.
Yeah, it finally sank. So we have to keep that, we have to fill that, which they were doing. That's what they were doing.
Regarding the food trucks, is there not room for more than 5? Or what's the 5? Where did the 5 number come from?
The 5 number comes from because the waterfront is actually 2 or 3 different parcels. By ordinance, you're only allowed to have up to 5 mobile vendors in a parcel. So there is an opportunity. We have done daily food trucks on the edge of Broad Street, in front of Broad Street Park. And engineering is working on a plan now to possibly do some extra spaces over there. So
Which one's Broad Street?
Broad Street is where the former Esteban
Going
Gomez
down
Park.
from State Street, right?
Oh.
Is that?
Former Gomez Park.
Gomez.
So if you cross the intersection in front of what was the credit union, it's on the opposite side, right next to the street, it's where we used to take out the canoe race.
Mhm.
Oh,
it's actually where the small access dock is still now,
it's on the other
the boat
side.
dock.
It's on the other
For
side
the
of the
railroad
tracks.
tracks. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah, oh,
different.
yeah, it was where it was the path for where they came up before we had the small access.
And we just make sure you all aware of how we, just a good discussion to how we handle food trucks, how we've handled them. We've had a variety of different menus down there over the years. We don't try to overmanage that.
And down on the waterfront with the new extension there is where the tanks used to be. Is that now city property?
Yes,
When is that removal gonna be complete? Because I noticed that they're just,
so they're able to secure more funding to
okay.
clean it up. If you hadn't noticed, if you're down that way, city engineering is down there now. That building is also the city's. And if you haven't been down that new extension, yes, we've got some, yeah, it is really nice. And we started to pick away at some of the lights on Front Street and Railroad Street to replace those, but the new extension is nice. Yes, we have had a couple of sinkholes develop, which the contractor has not finished it yet, so they gotta come back and do some finish work over there as well.
And I'm presuming when City Hall is done, the building down there will be removed? Is
No.
that- Oh, it's gonna stay?
It's gonna stay. Well, I shouldn't say no like that.
Well,
There is no plan. That's where
No plan to
that's where I'm
remove
gonna. There is no plan to remove it, and honestly, the building, I don't know what the possibilities are, we don't know what the possibilities are here tonight, and don't have any plan right in front of us to do anything with it currently. It's a good building. It's a full basement. We did some, fix-up work in it to clean it up so the engineering could move in. So it is, once engineering leaves and it becomes vacant again, it's move-in ready for something. What that something is, it's hard to say. That spot in the river actually has some better shore access than most other spots along the river. But the bulkhead is, it's old timber. We had a couple of washouts, when we were doing the tank project, back upstream. The tank wells need to be cleaned out, so yeah, there's some cleanup still left to do. We might be able to find some funding for that, but, the building we're planning on keeping the building there. To get something like that back, that close to the river,
Yeah,
and again, it wouldn't happen. But have that kind of building there, that.
Which building is this, Tracy?
The old Pike, Barrett paving location, so behind the casino, right, just upstream from 395.
when you go down to Gagan's, instead of going,
Yeah.
you go down to
I
the
know what you're
bottom.
talking, I just
Take
never
a
been
left
down
on
there.
that path.
Okay.
It was actually, it was the,
It's a building with stuff.
caucus
It's
building, right,
ours.
for.
It was the
McMillan,
office and scale house
When they were
when it was
doing,
Oh,
actively
okay.
using it. It was, liquid tar.
Yeah.
Would be the beginning end of paving. Again, back years ago, it used to be Barrett paving, and then Pike bought it, and then just, there was no need for it anymore. So when McMillan Construction, Sam McMillan did the tank, he actually bought the property to use for an office for that project, and then sold it back to the city. It made sense for the city to own that was the last kind of outlying piece along the river, so now we have river control of the shoreline from essentially through downtown, all the way down to 395. So you could, again, walk that whole length on a paved, lit, cleared year-round walkway.
and now to give you a headache. When are the moorings gonna, I know that's gonna.
So we're finding somebody to set them for us and, which we're working on. And we'd like to have them in time for the boating season this season. It's finding somebody to set them. And then we need to, find somebody, which is not the worst part, build a couple of floats. The plan is to put a couple of moorings in the river and then secure a float to them. So that we could get, instead of getting one boat use out of one mooring, we get two boat uses out of one mooring. And we have a newly certified harbor master, Rob Hanson, the park ranger, finished his required training last week. So he'll be able to be the harbor master.
And you have a nice boat.
And we have a nice new boat
Yep.
to do harbor mastering in.
Maybe we could check out the boat sometime.
That could be an on-site tour.
Yes.
Another perk,
Yeah.
besides the sticker.
Better than the band.
Wow.
Yes.
The van was the best.
We'll see what the boat's like.
That wasn't so bad.
Anything else?
Didn't even come with a headache, so I'm good. I'm good.
Anything else?
Nothing, but welcome.
All right,
Yes,
so-
welcome to our group. Thank you for
Welcome.
participating. And if Mr. Warner is watching, our apologies for the meeting mix-up.
So the second Thursday in April is the 11th.
That's,
That's such a crazy night, but.
I think Rob would like to come back to you as well. They'll be getting close to opening up by then.
Yeah, and I noticed that they have chosen a vendor.
Yes, yes, we were approved to enter into an agreement with Bangor Birdies LLC to be our concessionaire at the golf course, so for you. Also under the umbrella of Parks and Recreation is Bangor Municipal Golf Course.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we actually, Bob Cutler has been up there, to meet and get a a better understanding of the operation. We've executed a contract this week, at the beginning of next week. And we'll have a new concessionaire for the next 3 years at the golf course.
Is that location unique for them, or do they have another location somewhere else?
So they partnered, so Bob and Matt Robinson from Bissell Brothers got together to create Bangor Birdies. Bob owns Novios,
Oh, okay.
formerly owned the Family Dog in Orono.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for this.
Yeah.
Okay, so does April 11th work? or not?
It does. The only thing, which, let's just do it. The only thing I'm thinking, if I did need another canoe race meeting, we would put it on that day. But that's only if there's major changes, because I'm having it a few weeks prior. We have a committee, and that's only if there's major changes. Then I have it, water level for all the different search and rescues and, Bangor PD and fire and all that kind of stuff. But last year, didn't need it. Don't think we will. Hopefully, we don't need it. So let's do it.
So does that date work for everyone? Yeah. All right, so our next meeting will be April 11th, 5:15, same place.
Thank you all, same place.
Yeah, excuse me for my absence the last meeting too, but I know you went over some of the Griffin Road stuff.
Yeah.
That